Hi guys, I have a really fun craft with me video. So we had talked about it last week about how I wanted to make some type of finale for our Travelers series, and I thought, you know what better way than to make something to put everything in. And so this is what we're doing. We're making our little Traveler's wallet. And I thought that this might be fun to just kind of keep everything that we've made inside of a little wallet. And so this is what I came up with. The one we're going to make is going to be not with the same paper, but I made this. Then you open it like this. And then here we have our little window pocket for our ID, our pocket for our passport, and then a pocket for little tickets. I thought this was a fun idea just to kind of keep everything together. And then we do have acetate in this pocket just for the little window. I just thought that this was fun just to kind of keep everything in the same place. If you guys wanted to gift it to someone, I thought this might be fun to have. So this is what we're going to make today. I have all the measurements for you guys. This paper that I'm going to be using, I did buy from Michael's, and it's called the Dark Academia, and I believe they still have it. And so this is what we're using. I did use this one for this cover, but we're going to make a plain one because our next video for next week, for our Friday, is going to be decorating it. And so this is the one I'm using today, and it looks kind of like leather, I guess. And so this is what we're using today. So let's get started. I'm happy. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I made another one and it was bigger, too many pockets, and so I kind of simplified it a little bit, and I really like the way this came out. And so I'm gonna leave this open kind of to refresh my memory of what I did. And so here we go. Let's do it. So first we're gonna need, of course, a 12 by 12 cardstock, and you guys decide which ones you want to use. If you want to follow along with me for next week, then you might want to use something a little bit more solid that doesn't have too much of a design on it. And mine, of course, is single-sided, and we will be distressing the other side. So I already cut out my my cover. So the cover measures 12 in length by 5 1/4. Okay, 12 in length by 5 1/4. And so let's go ahead, and I'm going to score it first because, and I'm going to get this scoreboard out because this is the one that has all the measurements, and the girl needs help. So we're going to do this, fold this open, and then we're going to start scoring. And I will give you guys the scoring measurements in a minute. So if you guys have a paper that has directional print, then you might want to make sure that you have your scores printed to where, that they're printed, or no, wait a minute, that they're scored in a position to where the shorter side is the flap and it'll be right side up. Do you get it? And so with me, I did it this way, and so I scored. Okay, so let me see, is this going to be the same scoring? No, so you would have to turn it upside down and score it this way. Okay, if you're doing directional. Mine is not, so I'm not worried about it. So we're gonna first score, I have my notes, at 4 1/4, and then 4 1/2. Now with this paper, I've noticed that you can't push down too hard or else it'll rip, with any paper actually. So let's go, so we did scoring at 4 1/4, 4.5, and then we're going to 8 3/4, and then we're scoring again at 9. And so this shorter side here is going to be our flap to open, okay? And so we have our scores. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way. And before we do anything, I am going to, where's my scratch piece of paper so that I could, oh, here it is, so that we can distress it. We need to distress, and I'm using my darkest one, which is, I believe, the walnut stain. I'm thinking that that's the darkest one. So I'm just going to use one of my blending brushes just to take away the whiteness of the paper. I really like the way that looks here, see, when you ink it and distress it. So let's just do that really quick. This video might take a little while because there's a few steps that we need to take. I tried to do a little bit in advance just so that it's not too long, but of course you guys can skip, no worries, I won't feel bad. And we're just going to go ahead and distress this whole thing. Again, not worrying about the strokes because if you notice in my other one, you can't even tell. I just love the way this looks when it's all grungy and distressed. Now you can round the corners of the flap, and I believe that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I did with my other one. I feel like it just looks more original, more official. And so I'm not gonna worry too much about the bottom because we're gonna cover that up with pockets anyways. So technically it would be turned around this way. So let's make sure we get the top parts of this really good. So I feel like you have to have some type of cover, right? Since we're on a roll making these traveler projects, I just thought, you know what? We need something to put them in. So I'm gonna get my largest corner rounder and round again this shorter side. So we can go ahead now and fold and fold again, trying to make sure that it's even Steven. And then the last one. All right, I can take this out of the way. And I am going to get rid of all the white along here. So we have pretty much this whole thing ready. See? Cute, right? Okay. Let me get my dauber and just trying to get rid of all the white along these edges here. Can ink up the edges just a tiny bit, just the top, because the bottom you're not going to see anyways. I am going to get rid of the white from the bottom, but the edges I'm not going to worry about. So here I'm just going to cover up the white of these edges. It's going to be covered up anyways. So there we have it. Okay, let's put that aside for now. Got it? Now, I am going to make the closure the same. I do like the way that looks. And so I'm going to get some scratch piece of paper, cardstock. Let's see. I should have kept, let me think. Let me get some Tim Holtz scraps. Ooh, this might be fun. So I have my 1 inch. Yeah, that might be fun. Let's see which one looks better. Ooh, yeah, that'll be cool, right? Which one looks better? The 3? Maybe the 3, right? All right. I always double them up. I like to double them up because I feel like it gives it, it's more sturdy, I guess. So let's just double this up here. So you're always going to need 2. And then put that there. And then we're going to get our crocodile. Okay. I am going to cover up these edges. And taking out our crocodile. And you're going to need your eyelets too. I'm going to use the bigger. I'm going to put it directional. I'm going to put it this way because this is how it's going to sit anyways. And so I want the 3 to be upright. So we're going to put this about, is that about the middle? Put a little bit further down. That looks about right. Now we have to try to center this. Am I in the frame? Okay, let's see. Let's put it about, is that about right? Oh, not bad. Okay, now getting one of our, let's see, let's do gold. Gold would be pretty for this. It'll stand out more. Okay. And pretty. Cute, right? Okay. So there's that. That's all we needed our crocodile for. So now let's go ahead and we'll put the string on later. But I just wanted to get that done first because we're going to put a pocket there. And then now let's make our pockets here. Let's do the first one, which is for the actual passport. So we're just going to make this one and I'll give you guys the measurements. The measurements for the passport pocket is 4.5 by 3.5. So let me get my paper. Put that aside. Get my trimmer scoreboard thing. So passport pocket is 4.5. So this is already. So let's do this part. 3.5. 3.5. By 4.5. Just making sure that I'm reading the right one. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself. Okay, now we're going to score a 1/4 inch on sides and the bottom. Okay, now again, if your paper is directional, keep that in mind. And make sure that you're scoring the sides and the bottom. Okay, we got that. And now I am going to put a hole or like a little thumb, what is it called? The little thumb notch? I think that's what it's called. And then we're just inking, taking away the white. Now we can go ahead, let me move this again. I'm gonna have to bring it back out to do our other pocket. But in the meantime, let's just do this. Excuse me. Let me cut off my corners. And last one. There. This pocket is ready. Not bad, huh? We can go ahead and glue this down. This one is going to go right in the middle since it's the heaviest. So we'll put this right in the middle here. And put glue. That towards the bottom. Make sure it's straight and even on both sides. So there you have it. There is your passport pocket. Now, let's go ahead and do our window pocket here. The window pocket measures 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, so let's get this out again. This is my paper. So we're doing, so this is already, right? Okay, so let's do the 3 3/8. By the 4 5/8. That's here. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and gusset again, 1/4 inch, the sides on the bottom. It's just easier so that you can take the ID in and out. Now, the window part, that is where you're going to either have to measure it or like I did and get your Big Shot and get a die that is around the size that you need. I just went looking through all of my dies and I found one. Okay, you need to cut this window out, and the window measures, the one that I did, let me show you, is this. And my window, this die cut measures 3 5/8 by 2 5/8. So that kind of gives you an idea of what size window I used. And so I already went ahead and I pre-cut it just so that I didn't have to bring it out so you guys could be watching me struggle with it. But that's what I did, okay? So I just used my die cut to cut out the window. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, if you guys don't have a die cut, then of course, by all means, measure and just cut it out. It doesn't have to have the rounded corners. It could be straight edge, not a big deal. Either way, we're putting acetate over it, so it's not gonna cause any problems. So you guys can go ahead and cut with the craft knife and a ruler, metal ruler, and you're ready to go. So don't worry if you don't have it. So in this case, thankfully, I do, and we're gonna go ahead and just keep going. So if you have to stop so that you could make your window, then go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and ink just around here, just to get rid of the white, and then on the inside of my window. then before we glue it down, we need our acetate. So our acetate is going to measure, and I already have it cut, it's going to measure pretty much the same. 4 by 3. 4 by 3. Okay? So that's our little acetate piece that we're going to put in. And all we're going to do is just glue around it. So it's pretty, if you do the window size the same as mine, then you'll have plenty of room to glue around. Okay, so let's just go ahead and glue it. So again, it's 4 by 3. Okay. So hopefully I'm not going too fast for you guys, since I had already had this stuff cut. And we are gluing all 4 corners, or 4 sides. Trying not to be too heavy-handed with the glue, but you know me. It happens anyways. Okay. There. Now we're going to softly press that down. Press it down. Okay. Now we're going to give that a minute to dry. Okay. So let's give that a minute to dry. In the meantime, let me put this away. We can do this pocket here. So this little pocket, let me see. I didn't write down the measurements of that one because, let's see, we can put this pocket like this. Let me get a pencil. This is just a little piece of extra that we had. Should I use this one or should I use this size? Is okay too. It actually fits right under. No, we might have to cut it. I'd have to cut a little bit of it, but I do like the size. It's okay. We'll do this. So let's just cut it to where it barely it'll fit perfectly. Let me see. Yeah, that's probably about right. I'll give you guys the measurements of this one in a minute. But I normally just eyeball it. I write down the measurements so that you guys have an easier way to follow along, because when I follow along, I like to know what's happening. But so this one, it's going to measure. This one is, let's see, about 2 7/8 by 2 1/4. So that's about this size. And I am going to round that corner just so that it evens out, and then just go around the edges. And I will probably, yeah, let's go ahead and make a little thumb notch here. About there. And we can just add that here. See? And it evens out with that corner. So let's just put the glue down on the 3 sides. And again, having a millisecond to move it. And there you have it. Let me move this out of the way. Come on. Okay, this should be dry by now. So we're gonna go ahead and glue down this. Sometimes I have a hard time when I have gussets to make them stay down. So let's do this and then put this down here. And here. I feel like the extra glue that I have on my fingers is starting to peel off as I'm rubbing down my little pocket. But, ta-da! So, let's see if everything fits. Let's get a passport. One of our passports we made. Make sure it fits. Very nice. Moment of truth. Perfect. And then we can put little tickets and stuff in here. Now see, this doesn't bother me very much. The little eyelet that's there, it's fine. It's not gonna bother me. But there we have it. Cute, right? Now let's just get our, why do we say our? I'm not a pirate. Let's go ahead and tie this up. Excuse me. And put this in. I double knot it just to make sure it doesn't come out, which I doubt it would, but either way. And then I like the way it looks to be double wrapped. Oh, I pretty much did that right on point. Normally I have to cut it a little bit, but there we have it. Wow. We made it under 30 minutes. That is a record. But here we have it, guys. Look. Isn't that the cutest? Now come back on Friday because we're going to decorate it. I have this really fun idea on how to decorate. Maybe not so much, maybe a little bit on the front, but my main focus would be on the back because I have something fun planned. So come back for that. But that's it, guys. There it is. Our little traveler's wallet. Pretty cute, right? You can add maybe like another little pocket or something up there, but to kind of be, you know, taking in and out the little ID, I think it's fine the way it is. And then add in a little pocket for the tickets. I think it's perfect. And so here we have this one that is decorated already because of the beautiful paper. And so this one I wouldn't decorate only because the paper is beautiful on its own. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was so much fun and it's super easy, you guys, super easy to make something to kind of fit our theme. And I just really enjoyed making this. I had a couple samples that I made that one was bigger, one was fatter, and I came up with this one. I love the measurements of this one, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And don't forget, Wednesday I will have a haul, and Friday we'll come back and decorate the plain one. Okay, so that's it, you guys. And for those of you, I know that I believe Raquel, you had been asking about buy me a coffee. What does that mean? It is a link that I have on my, I have it on all of my videos, and the buy me a coffee link is just for those who want to help support my channel. And by buying me a coffee, there's a link there, and supposedly it's buying me a coffee, but it's actually helping out my channel financially so that I can buy more supplies and make great videos for you guys. And so just by following the link, it'll tell you all the information that you need. So it's just a small financial help. I have had a few ladies already buy me a coffee, and I'm super appreciative. So that's what that is. And that's it, you guys. I'm just really thankful for all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for my haul. Thanks, guys. Bye.